Indie games have gotten huge. Apparently, you don't need to spend $7 billion and 10 years of development time on a game to get people to buy it. It turns out, people just like to play video games and have fun for a few hours. Who would have thought? And with AAA games getting such bad reviews lately, we really have to ask ourselves where we want to spend our money and our time. But where should you spend your time and money? Gather around, watch the whole video to increase my watch hours, and give Phasmophobia a good old like and subscribe, because he's about to do all of the hard work for you. Today I'm going to be looking at my top 7 indie games for under $20, some cheaper than others, but there's also going to be some free-to-play mentions and some Game Pass mentions. Starting us off on the cheaper end of things, we've got Peak. This one's brand new. You play in a group of people climbing up some large peaks. You've just crash landed in an airplane and you have to survive. You have to watch your food, health, and carry weight, because each one lowers your stamina. As your stamina gets lower, it gets harder and harder for you to climb. Now luckily, people can still help you up too. There are also items that help you get around, like magic beans and ropes. You can also get hit with poison and with hypothermia, both of which also lower your stamina. This game is insanely simple, but it's so complex at the same time. It is the most fun you can have in 2025 for $8. Besides content warning. Content warning is pretty popular. Everyone knows what it is these days. And for an additional $8, content warning will get you hours of playtime. You play as these dudes, whose mission is to record something awesome to go viral on their version of YouTube. They're just like me, for real. You go places with big monsters, try not to die as you record them, and make it home alive to upload to YouTube. As you get bigger and bigger, you'll need to start getting bolder footage to keep increasing your viewers. You also get money to spend on more equipment to help you throughout the game. This game is wild. It's about a year old now, but it's still just as much fun as it was when it first came out. Before we move up in cost, here are some free-to-play options and even some Game Pass options. For free-to-play on Steam, Twin Cores is definitely a must-have. Now, it is only co-op, and it only supports controllers, but it is so much fun. You play as Twin Cores, 2 drones fighting off tons of enemies and saving a terraforming station. You have to synchronize your movements and work together. It plays a bit like Chained Together, which is another indie game that's not on this list, but it's a lot of fun. Definitely worth an honorable mention. Anyway, while Twin Cores is a ton of fun, I've only been talking about multiplayer games. You might be interested in something more single player too. Dying Sun is a fantastic single player option on Steam. It's pretty calming. You surf through landscapes, learning what happened on this planet and why its inhabitants are extinct. It isn't a very long game, but it has a lot of heart packed into it. Over on Game Pass, I can't think of a game that I've played any more of than Gang Beasts. This is an insanely fun multiplayer game where you battle your friends or strangers online, grabbing them, throwing them, punching them, fucking murdering them in cold blood. You fight them until you're the last one standing, using the environment to your advantage. The game pretty infrequently gets new updates, so don't expect any new content anytime soon. Still, it has tons of replayability and will keep you and your friends coming back to beat the shit out of each other over and over. Moving on up, at $10 we have REPO. Everyone knows REPO these days. It is a ton of fun. You play as these bean dudes, trying to take as many items to sell as possible to meet your quota. Along the way, you run into a ton of different monsters. Blind guys walking around with a shotgun, giant aliens, or chickens who aggro onto you the moment you touch them. If you can't meet your quota, or if everyone dies, it turns into a free-for-all with all of your friends before starting over. For $10, there's not much better than REPO. It's got an insane amount of value. But you know what else has an insane amount of value for $10? Ooh, a mug from Staples? Well, yeah, that. And Lethal Company. I know damn well how popular Lethal Company got when it came out. I mean, it's a year and a half old by now, but damn did it get popular for a good fucking reason. You work for the company, and you look for scrap on different moons for the company. If you fail to meet your quota, you're shot into space and killed. Yeah, a lot of these games have a quota, apparently. You also have a time limit to meet your quota, so you have to work fast and efficiently as the price keeps going up. The levels are also procedurally generated, so you'll never have the same game twice. The game was also a colossal success, winning a ton of awards. It also probably only cost them $15 in 2 weeks to make. Take that, AAA studios. Now I know all of my paid options have been multiplayer, so I made sure to switch things up for my next choice. For only $12.99, White Knuckle will keep you on the edge of your seat. As someone who has had a lot of experience in platformers, I know movement is something that is extremely important, and this game is all about movement. Literally, it's a vertical climber with amazing movement mechanics. mechanics. By using items, you can even create places to grab so you can continue going. The style of the game is amazing too. It's so so dark and grim. There's also lots of enemies to halt your progress. You'll have to adapt to each one to climb your way out of there. And if you don't want to commit to $12.99 right away, this one's got a demo on Steam, so go check it out. Finally, at the two most expensive games on this list, both at $20, we're starting off with the recent Schedule 1. Schedule 1 has you living in the city of Highland Point. You start off as a small-time drug dealer and you work your way up to a fucking drug lord. Someone really saw Breaking Bad and decided to make it into a game. There are a ton of intricacies here. Growing your product, distributing it, paying employees, everything comes together so nicely. This game is so in-depth, it's crazy, especially considering what it is. Lastly, we got Phasmophobia, a personal favorite. Phasmophobia has you going into dark, haunted places and learning what kind of ghosts lurk there. You use a variety of tools to prove which type of ghost is in there based on evidence. Once you figure it out, you select which one you think it is. There's also side objectives to get a little bit more money from the mission, and you can use that money to go buy more equipment. There are some locations that are smaller and easier to handle, like small houses, but there's also other locations that are absolutely massive and terrifying, like big prisons and schools. Be careful not to die getting evidence. These ghosts are not only terrifying, but dying also leads to less money at the end of the day. As if that's what you should be worrying about when you're dead. And that's all she wrote for this list. This was originally going to be a short, but there was too much content. There are just way too many good indie games right now. Just as God intended, AAA studios need to learn people don't want to wait 10 to 20 years for a new game. These studios are really putting all of their eggs into one basket. Did I miss your favorite indie game? Let me know in the comments below after you subscribe. Because you're going to subscribe, right? Right? Don't make me send Phasmophobia ghosts after you.